Ron? Ron?
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our August 12th UD regular board meeting. And if everyone rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. All right, it's time for the public forum. We would like to welcome the members of the public who have taken the time to attend this meeting and provide comments on matters related to district business. Any member of the public may address the board relating to any matter within the board's jurisdiction. This section is for comments on items not listed on the agenda. Person speaking during the public comment will be limited to 5 minutes, or depending on the number of persons wishing to speak, it may be reduced to allow all members of the public the opportunity to address the board. While no action or discussion may be undertaken by the board on topics presented in this section, board members are listening carefully to these comments and appreciate your input. Is there anyone that would like to address the board?
It's on. The green light mean it's on. Is it on? Okay, good. Good morning. My name is Randy Handvelt. I am a board member of TUCARE, former past president of TUCARE, and many of you know me. I was here about a month ago. I had 3 requests a month ago. One of those has been taken care of. One of our requests was that the TUD arrange for someone to coordinate with us on an educational program. We run a serious educational program with schools, and we were in need of having some more water because water is in big demand by teachers to teach their kids something about water. Amazing. I think that's more so, by the way, recently than before. So anyway, that was important to us, and we worked with Emily, I think her name is, and Emily you're on the schedule, and we'll start arranging tours. We start doing that now for fall and through the year. And we're even going so far because school tours have become difficult to finance, and most of it's because of the transportation. I had no idea how expensive it was. But anyway, we're working with them, and TUCARE is actually subsidizing some of the bus transportation to get these kids out to learn about natural resources, and water's on our list. And what makes you particularly important in this is they seem to want to know where the water comes from. Amazing. I think that's a good thing. Our kids need to know where everything comes from. The light switch isn't where the electricity comes from, and the grocery store isn't where fruits and vegetables and meat come from. It comes from other places, and so does water. So anyway, as you know, TUCARE has been around since I think 1988, maybe before that. I'm not sure exactly, but somewhere along there. We've been around here a long time, and we are dedicated to the prudent stewardship of natural resources: water, forestry, mining, and ranching, grazing, and we push that, and we advocate. We not only are an educational organization, but we push that in policy, both at the local, state, and federal level, policy and legislation. We commonly write letters of encouragement, encourage others to do the same, and we promote the good stewardship and by the way, and good policy in government. And I don't have to tell you, how difficult that can be, but together we can do better. So in my request last time, I asked that you schedule, and I'm asking again that you schedule some time on your agenda, and I'll bring Amy Dunlap here, who is our executive director, and we give you a presentation on TUCARE and the organization in Alliance for Resources and Environment. By the way, there used to be 18 of us on the West Coast. There's down to one, which is us. I'm not sure why that's happened. We're in the process of trying to evangelize our program. But at any rate, we think that an alliance with TUD and with you being members of our board or our organization could help us a lot in terms of information flow and us supporting TUD and their any endeavors they might have going forward. So that's my request, that you schedule us and give us time. 20, 30 minutes would be probably adequate. 30 minutes would be better, but fill out questions and answers. So anyway, that's my request. I'm sorry I can't stay. I have another meeting at 9 o'clock this morning and I'm late. So happened to me before, but we just get overscheduled that way. But you're important, and that's why I'm here. So thank you for your time, and I appreciate it if you'd find time to put that on your agenda. And I don't know who I contact, but I'll be bugging you if I don't hear from you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Anyone else like to address the board? Okay, seeing none. Then Melissa?
Okay, consent calendar. Item number 1, minutes of the regular board meeting of July 22nd, 2025. Item number 2, approval of reimbursement claims for director's statement of meetings attended and or travel expenses and claim summary for July 2025. Item number 3, authorization to declare surplus property. And item number 4, investment report as of June 30th, 2025.
Okay, thank you. Is there any board member that would like to pull any of the item? I think I heard a yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The claim summary, just a couple things. I just want to assure everybody that I believe our finance department is second to none. So I just so appreciate the great work that you're all doing. The claim summary is kind of an opportunity for kind of highlight some things, and also for kind of educates us board members of some things that, you know, probably obscure. There's so many details to wade through, but one question I had was on page 6 of the claim summary, Central Valley Clean Water Association. Just wonder if you could help me understand what that is and what it's about.
Eric and I can try to address that. Central Valley Clean Water Association is I could say a consortium, an association of sewer agencies in the Central Valley. They do the association does advocacy for regulation related to sewer collection and treatment. They also have some conferences for our operators, and so they've been used as an educational resource for a number of years.
Would you say they're somewhat similar to Aqua?
They're much smaller than Aqua, and they are just specific to the Central Valley. And so we could give you an example. They'll have operator conferences in Modesto, where only maybe a couple hundred people will attend. They have working groups related to biosolids, which is an issue that we address or deal with. They also have things that Rich Pitcher, our collections superintendent, utilizes as resources for sanitary sewer management plans, which are requirements of the state on how we operate our collection system. Those are just a few, and this is just the annual fee that we pay. I think that the other aspects require additional cost when we attend the conferences and whatnot.
Yeah, and just understand the issue for me isn't the cost. It's just, you know, organization I wasn't familiar with, but it sounds like very, very worthwhile. Let's see, also on page 4, where it talks about government jobs, neo-government Not sure what that is, page 11. The cost is $84.91. There's I'm assuming that helps us in our recruiting process.
I'll take that one. Good morning.
Morning.
Governmentjobs.com is also a NeoGov product, and this is a new annual subscription for us that will not only help with recruitment and getting the word out on our jobs, but also for applicant tracking. So it's a new system we'll be using. So when candidates come to our website, the career page, they'll be able to create an account and apply for jobs through their account. And so if they want to apply for multiple jobs, they don't have to continue to keep entering the same information into it. And it'll be helping us do less manual tracking of applicants. And so we're really excited to bring it on.
Great. So it gives an opportunity to spread our net, if you will, for new candidates. And it also
Yes.
will save staff time and money.
Yes,
and
it will
process.
save in staff time for sure. And it will reduce any kind of human error in the tracking on spreadsheets and things like that.
Thank you. Then on page 11, HAO Van Lee, quarterly VACT. I wasn't sure what that was.
That's who we send water samples to for regional for testing for BACT samples,
Bacteria.
bacteriological samples.
Okay, cool. Ready? Then on page 12, Institute Form Sewer Rehab. I think I know what that is, but just be helpful to maybe explain that a little bit.
It's the CIP sewer lining project that the collections department did.
Okay, that's lining sewer.
Interesting. CIP in that sense has a different meaning than capital improvement plan. This is cure in place pipe. Add that to the acronym list if it isn't on it. CIPP.
Great.
Might be.
And then I was kind of excited to see on page 14 with the QIT 1.9 million. Obviously, it's a lot of bucks, but it mentioned retention, and it just I mean, I understand mobilization. In contracting, I've always said a retention is something that the contractor doesn't get until he does everything he's supposed to do. Maybe help me understand the term in this context.
I think you have a pretty good understanding of the term for everyone's benefit. Retention in California state law is set at 5%. So you get to retain 5% of what the contractor has earned, and you hold that back until the contractor has finished the job. And generally, you file a notice of completion on the job, and you see if there's any liens, outstanding liens, and then you release the remaining 5%. Sometimes contractors are able to request that that retention be held in an escrow, interest-bearing escrow account, and they're entitled to the interest on that. For this particular job, because it was funded by USDA, that was not allowed. So these funds were held at USDA, and once Kiewit had satisfied all of the requirements, Jennifer filed the notice of completion. But it took a long time for us to reach that point because there was a lot of negotiating that occurred at the very end of this job and a lot of outstanding items that had to be taken care of. And then, quite honestly, USDA isn't exactly fast either. So that's why it's taken this long. But this 1.9 represents what Kiewit had already earned on the job that we were holding to make sure that they would perform all of the requirements under the contract.
Great. Yeah, one of the points of confusion for me at least was we have Kiewit on the Sierra Pines project and we have Kiewit on the wastewater treatment project. So this is for the wastewater treatment project.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, it says regional wastewater treatment plant, invoice 39, believe it or
Okay.
not, 39 invoices on that project. But yes, it was only for the wastewater
Okay.
project.
Hey,
And then the
Glenn,
last,
can I ask a question regarding that?
so
So when you check for liens at the end, I'm familiar with the private property process on mechanics liens. I'm wondering if it's the same for public. Is there a lien period after it's done that you have to wait through before you, after the notice completion is filed?
So technically, my understanding with state law, and Jesse isn't on, is that we technically don't have to wait 45 days to release the retention. It's good practice to wait 45 days. Generally, contractors or vendors or suppliers will send our project managers, Jen, Gadiel, Nate, a preliminary lien notice. And it lists the value of the materials they're providing on the job and just alerts us that this is a pre-lien. And then if after we file and record the notice of completion, we receive an actual lien, which is very rare, then, and we haven't released the retention, we would consult with Jesse on whether or not we need to withhold some of that in the amount equal to the lien. But generally speaking, that hasn't been an issue. It could be. And we don't always wait the 45 days because a lot of our smaller contractors, they don't have a lot of materials necessarily supplied on the job. We know they've fulfilled the obligations. We're very interested in getting their retention released once we're satisfied with the job. But on something like this, a very large project, we would want to wait 45 days at least. And honestly, we've waited, I don't really know how many months.
A
this has
long
been
time,
now.
yeah.
A long, long time.
Well, that's good. Yeah, it's good practice, like you said. Glad to hear it. Thank you.
I have, my last item is on page 21 regarding watch resources, landscape management. Maybe it's a very small amount, but I just wanted to maybe explain a little bit more about that.
So it's the watch program and we use them at regional. They weed eat and mow for us down there.
Great. Yeah, so I actually have close connections with family and friends with Watch. And, they are a fantastic program, I think, in community outreach. Maybe someone can explain a little bit about what Watch is or how they, I can give it my best shot. Abby, maybe?
I'm not an expert on watch.
Okay.
So if you have a description, that would probably be helpful.
No, anyway, they have programs for developmentally disabled folks in the county. There's another program called Community Compass that I think might do similar things. So personally, my wife and I have a developmentally disabled, intellectually disabled cousin who actually passed a couple of years ago, but he was active in these kind of programs, and they're fantastic. I think in terms of our community outreach and public goodwill, I would encourage us to, to get as many people like that involved. That's it.
Anyone else? No? Okay, well, I, of course, have a couple things for claim summary. Page 1 of 22, 29th District Agricultural Association, sewer electric charges. Huh?
Uh, 49.
Okay, that's a strange one. Then one of these Director Jacob's got for me, so that's good. Page 6 of 22, Civic Plus LLC, social media security contract. I know this is going to be probably Corey.
That's it.
Oh, really? Okay.
It also is an archiving system and then helps us be compliant because there's ADA compliance with websites. Make sure you have your photos properly labeled for folks that need that. And so there's a lot of
Really?
ADA requirements on websites, yeah. So
Wow.
that helps us stay compliant with that and archive our messaging appropriately so that nothing gets lost because we have to keep records of all the comments.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. Good to know. Page 7 of 22, Columbia Sky Mobile Estates. Electric utility, a whole $39.51. What in the world? Is that another Gardella pump
No,
type
that-
thing?
Should, probably the sewer lift station.
It is.
Huh,
Oops, yep.
okay. Okay, here's a goodie. Page 7 of 22 again. Contech Engineered Solutions, LLC, Sullivan Creek Bridge. Now, I saw pictures of that and I knew this was coming up. Good Lord, $180,000 for that bridge to be built. That's incredible.
Dipped out from.
We couldn't do it here.
Minnesota.
We couldn't do it here in this area.
Actually, we did get some other, we got one out of Texas. We could have probably worked with, say, like a Trotter Welding.
Yeah, that's what I'm
that.
thinking of.
We have done that in the past down at the wastewater plant. Bridge between the two
Yeah,
digesters
yeah.
was locally fabricated. I don't think it really would have ended up being much less expensive. The reason being is that Contech makes bridges all the time. They mass produce these. And it was extremely easy to get the engineering and the shop fabrication drawings through them. Yes, there was some shipping cost, but a bridge of this size, and also it's a weathered steel bridge because of the cultural sensitivity of this resource. We had to make it look older.
I
which
know, we paid for the rust.
we did. We did. You're right. And
Okay,
this was just bear in mind that the alternative here was to build a pipeline around and cross on the county's bridge, which would have added, I don't know. Yes, it would have easily added $300,000 or more when you account for the paving disruption. So this was the least cost alternative for this particular project.
okay. Well, I mean, that whole thing was just atrocious in cost. I mean, we had to pay Nate's Tree 6,600 some odd dollars. We had a bird survey for 425. I mean, it just went on and on. Now, here's the question, and I hope I get the right answer. Will a four-wheeler go across that bridge with a trailer?
Are you
Define
daring
four
us to
wheeler.
try?
Well, I mean, a long time ago, I suggested that we equip the ditch crew with four-wheelers in order to be able to get out to the various and start taking care of the berms so that they would take the traffic and have a trailer that you carry the materials and tools out and back.
So this is kind of a bridge to nowhere. It's in people's backyards. And then we don't have any maintenance to do beyond it because it's the Shaw's Flat pipeline.
That's a pretty good answer.
Well, it's
Got out of that one.
it's a pipe bridge. It's not a people bridge.
Correct. It's a suspension
And,
bridge.
you
to
know,
hold the
if
pipe.
you're curious, go look at my wall in my office. You'll see what condition it was. So we didn't have, you know, more than 10,000 people depend on this bridge. It was in jeopardy of failure soon with all these atmospheric rivers. We had to get with it. We had to
No.
get with the program.
I got that. I mean, I saw the picture, the before
Yeah, yeah.
pictures. It was ugly, but
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was a bridge to nowhere. I thought it was part of the. Great answer. Good save. Oh, this is a favorite of mine. Page 21 of 22, underground service alert, dues. How come when we supply the labor continually, sending people out, to have to mark that? Why are we paying dues and a registration cost? I mean, there's close to $7,500 right there.
It's just part of the service that they have for how they send it out and the call collections. It's what we have to do.
Welcome to the real world, huh?
Yep.
Okay. All right, well, that's it for me.
I've
Yep.
got a
Go.
clarification on one of your questions.
Yeah, go for it.
That Gardella, power bill, I assume that's part of the, reclamation water program that we have that,
Yes.
helps us disperse the water from, the regional wastewater treatment plant,
Yes, it
correct?
does. Yep.
Okay, all right, just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Okay, if we have no more conversation here at the board, anybody from the public? No? Okay, I'll bring it back for motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the, consent calendar.
I'll second.
Okay, there's nothing further. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank you. Melissa, whenever you're ready.
Okay, regular business, item number 5.
I need to recuse myself on this side.
Jeff, I forget, do you have to state why you're recusing yourself?
Yeah, a company that I'm involved with, does business with the Valley Vista project.
Thank you.
I need to recuse myself. I have a grandson who is a my son-in-law is a landscaping contractor. I discovered on Friday that he is bidding the landscaping portion of the Valley Vista project. I checked with Jesse. He said this is a really long, really a long shot, but in an abundance of caution, I'm gonna recuse myself. Right.
All right.
Still have to announce the item. I have to wait for them to exit. It's okay. I like your style. I know, you're good to go. Okay, now, item number 5, consider awarding the Valley Vista Tank Project construction contract to Superior Tanking.
Well, good morning, Jennifer Batt, Senior Engineer for the district. I'm taking the lead on the water tank portion of the project. So the Valley Vista subdivision is a phased development that will serve 229 residential units consisting of condominiums and single-family residences, a community center, and a small commercial development. For that development, a 30,000 gallon tank was required. However, we would like to upsize the tank so that we can backfeed Jamestown with it, provide more reliability in the Jamestown system, and also it gives us the ability to take the Jamestown tank offline for maintenance in the future. So the two tanks float together, and so if we have to take the Jamestown tank down for, we'll just say coatings, new coatings, then at least we'll still have some backup in our system. So that's what the Valley Vista tank will provide for our system. So we decided that we would need for our customers 500,000 gallons. So in addition to the 230, we added a little more to make it a 500,000 gallon tank. We are paying a cost share for that upsize. The developer's paying for their portion. And there's an Exhibit C in your agenda packet that outlines the division of finances and who's covering what. So for instance, SCADA you're gonna need SCADA system regardless of whether the tank's 230,000 gallons or 500,000 gallons. So that's 100% on the developer to pay for. Mobilization, demobilization, things like that, tank connections, that would all be on the developer. And so that you'll see on your agenda packet that those are 100% covered by the developer. Where we're covering, our cost share might be the additional steel for the tank. We might have a little bit more cathodic protection now. We have a larger tank pad, so a larger expense of that is to build out a bigger tank pad and the erosion control that goes with that. And then the tank foundation, we're paying for an upsize of the tank ring wall, the sand, the drain rock that goes all under the tank. The project was circulated for bids on May 16th of 2025. And on June 25th, 2025, the district received, opened, and publicly read 2 bid submissions. And the bid results are in your agenda packet. We had a Superior Tank Company ended up being our lowest responsible bid. We've worked with Superior in the past. They most recently did our Mono Village tank this last year. And in, I want to say 2014, did the Zone 2 Tank 1 tank. I believe those are the 2 most recent tanks that they've done for us. We expect to be in construction this year. Going back to the financial side a little bit more, we have secured a deposit from the developer to cover their share. It's in hand. And we also have a REAP grant through Tuolumne County in the amount of $425,000 that will cover our portion. We identified some money in the tune of $283 or $84-ish thousand in our CIP for this project, but I don't anticipate that we'll really even need it. So that's good news. And then we have a grant extension deadline. It was March, but now it's 6 months later, right? So around September of next year to complete the tank in order to use the grant funds. I think that's all. Yeah. You got
All right,
some
thank you.
questions?
Any questions? Board? No? No? I had one. First of all, thanks very much for all the information on that. This is a good project. I think everybody comes out ahead on this. What I could not figure out is how we're going to access that tank. I looked at that map and looked at that map and
Yeah.
didn't
So
see any driveways.
we have a tank access road that we already have the deed the easement for tank access. And then more recently, we added public utilities to that access road. So now we're going to be bringing our water mains up that road. The original design has had it cutting up a pretty steep slope, which wasn't really favorable for us. And so we were able to work with the developer and have them take maybe a longer route to get to the tank, but it's going to be way more accessible. So now it's a public access and a PUE. And we have also been deeded the tank lot. So we already own the tank lot.
Okay, good,
Mhm.
good.
And all the roads through the subdivision are going to be county roads. They've already been approved on a subdivision map. So we have complete access to the tank.
It looked from the map, of course, I don't think it was topographical, but it looked like it was at the top of the subdivision
Mhm.
and way up in a corner too.
Yeah, I was up in the northeast corner of the subdivision.
Okay, good. So it's all straightened out. So that's good.
Mhm.
I didn't figure you guys would drop the ball, but when I was looking at that map, I didn't see any roads leading to it. So.
Yeah.
All right. There's nothing here from the board, anything from the public? If not, then bring it back for action.
I move that we authorize the general manager to execute a construction agreement with Superior Tank Incorporated for the Valley Vista Tank Project in the amount of $717,986 and authorize the district engineer to approve the change orders not to exceed $36,000, approximately 5% of the contract amount.
Thank you.
I second it.
All right. There's no further discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? I don't hear anybody.
And a darn good job.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Melissa.
We have to get,
Oh, I,
I said,
I thought maybe they just didn't want to be here anymore. I looked at that, those bids, I at first got a little worried, such a wide gap, but
yeah,
seeing it was Superior, I said, well, they know what they're doing.
they do, they do. While we're waiting, I'll just fill some of this, space up with some positivity. And it's a
No.
bit selfish, but the sort of work that we're, able to accomplish today, in particularly with all the tanks that we've done in the recent past, the tank, number of tanks that are in process now or in some sort of phased construction now, and the ones in the very near future are all really, really great things for us because as you all know, we have a lot to look forward to, right? And so to have a lot of these things taken care of us in our rearview mirror, so to speak, will just allow us to focus our attention on other things down the road. So really appreciate all staff's effort and dedication to accomplishing all. It's a lot. We are asking a lot from our staff, and they're phoning up and getting it done so we can focus in the future. So anyway, I accomplished my task of filling the dead air.
No, that's impressive. You know, you managed to keep the REAP grant in play. I've seen a lot of cases in other places where those things didn't come off and click like it did in this one. This group is very good.
Okay,
item number 6, consider awarding Zone 2, Tank 2, Michigan Tank 2, replacement project construction contract to Superior Tank.
I think the board has met Nate, but Nate is our assistant engineer, quickly becoming one of our resident experts in tanks. As Don said, we have a lot of tanks. So he just finished up the Gibbs tank, which was a welded steel tank. He's in, the process of Upper Cedar Ridge tank, which is a bolted steel tank. And then this tank as well, which is on your agenda today. So Nate's doing a great job.
Yeah, morning, everyone. Got another tank for you.
Thank you.
So this is the Zone 2 Tank 2, or also known as the Michigan Tank 2 tank.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, he does.
This tank, it's up off Michigan Drive, off South Fork Confidence above Twain Hart, and 310,000 gallon welded tank. It's past its useful life. Can't get up on the roof anymore. Internal rafters hanging in. Time to replace it. It's very important for ditch outage, this tank. This helps us get through the fall ditch outage, supplying water for the upper basin system. This sends water up to White Fir, sends water to the Confidence tank. And now through the Mount Provo pipeline, it sends water all the way down to the Nine Sisters tank in Tuolumne. So it's a pretty important tank. So after ditch outage this year is when we want to replace it. Superior Tank, again, was our most lowest and responsible bidder. They're $584,986. And as Jen said before, we dealt with them with Mona Village. They did the other tank up there, the Zone 2 Tank 1 tank back in 2014. And so we expect to have good results from them again with this tank. This is CIP fiscal year 26. Last time you guys saw this was during the budget review back in June 10th. And yeah, that's about the basic gist of everything. Questions, concerns, what we got?
anyone? Go ahead.
Thank you, Nate. Great job.
Thanks.
Welcome. Just a question. I know some of these tank bids can be all over the map. We've had some that are like within a few dollars of each other. I noticed the spread here, we've got almost a $400,000 spread between Superior and Moyle. And I just wonder if you have any thoughts why that might be.
Yeah, we asked about that. So each bidder for this, they all used a different tank manufacturer.
Oh.
So it really shows the differences between each manufacturer, the cost differences between them all.
Just curious what differences.
Just the price for, so Superior, they manufacture their own tanks
Okay.
versus Plumberbilt and Moyle, they're a general contractor and then they're using a tank manufacturer to make the tanks. So that's why you kind of see a big difference here where Superior, they're bidding it as a general contractor and they're making the tanks. They're able to do a lot lower cost because they don't need to trade hands so many times.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Just got a little question.
Go ahead.
So the old tank, pretty bad shape, huh, Nate?
Yes.
Yeah, like it here. So I know with Eric Johnson, you and I have talked several times, price per gallon. So we're getting close to that $2 per gallon, huh? Yeah. All right, so I think I saw it in here. How long is it going to take to build it?
These bolted tanks go up pretty quick. Within 3 weeks, the tank's pretty much all up and ready to go. So the overall project, you could see it depending on the weather, because we have to do it after fall dish outage. If we get nice weather, I mean, within 2 months, we could be rocking and rolling. But if we got rain and snow up there and other delays like that, it can be extended out. That's why we have in the contract, I believe it's 150 or 180 calendar days, but it's expected to be done before spring outage for sure.
All right, cool. That's it. Thank you. Good job.
Thanks.
Any further questions? Okay, so I went through that fairly closely and I think, isn't this the same property that we replaced the tank a few years ago that got hit by a tree?
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, okay, all right. So we still have no power to that site, so we're gonna get that super duper little deal up on top, put back and running that creates enough for the SCADA system power.
Are we gonna be still using the hydro?
We looked into getting PG&E power and it was exorbitantly expensive. So I think we were going to continue to use the micro turbine
Yeah,
to charge the batteries that
Yeah.
would operate the
Yeah.
telemetry with the alarms. And it seemed to be working quite well.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I think that's the continued plan. That since this isn't a grant-funded project, we just couldn't justify the expense for
right.
PG&E power for such a small.
well, I thought that was really pretty ingenious anyways. All right, well, thank you very much. Good job.
For sure.
So I'll bring it back to the board.
Great.
Well, actually, is there anyone out in the public like to? Yes,
Roaring 20s, guys, so last when, figured build that city sort of capacity to actually build these water use moving forward. Something that may
I know.
That's a good question. This pretty paramount site right here, our water comes out of our Lakewood water treatment plant up to this. And so it's kind of like the first step along many paths for our piping system. So later when we get Sierra Pines built, this is going to be kind of one of the first stops for water going up the hill and then down over the Tuolumne. So this is a really important site for us, being that again, it's kind of the beginning link to all these other things. It's not kind of the end of the line spread out there. It's kind of the main hub for our water system.
So everyone online, if there's anyone online can hear, in the last several years, 15 years or so, we've actually decreased our water storage because we've consolidated so many tanks. I think when I started, we had like 93 tanks or something like that, and now we're at 60. Okay, 60. So that's one thing. And then the other part of that is we're not really increasing our capacity. So capacity increases when people move in and developments happen, and we haven't done really any of that. Historically, our area only grows about 1 to 2% per year, if that. And so we definitely have that water, and until something really booms, we won't be using any more water than we would have really last year. What was that?
Not from a water supply standpoint. I mean, our water supply comes from the South Fork Stanislaus River, 26,000 acre feet. We haven't changed that at all. That water supply is to us. There's more information on our urban water management plan, which is online. It should answer a lot of those questions. I did have one more comment that Jen brought this up in hers, and I think it's important. So, not knowing how these bids would come out, we have our engineer's estimate budget. We budgeted in our capital improvement plan, check me if I'm wrong here, $942,000, what we budgeted for. We're getting this for $485, right?
584.
585 if you round up. Okay, you'll get there. You'll get there. So it's quite a savings. It's quite a savings, all of my point. So great job. You engineers with your $0.00.
Yeah, what kind of tolerance are we talking here, Don? Pennies?
All right. So we took care of public, bring it back to the board or some sort of action.
I move we award the Zone 2 Tank 2, Michigan Tank 2 replacement project construction contract to Superior Tank Company, Inc.
I'll second it.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, guys.
Good job.
Good job, Nate.
Okay, Melissa, whenever.
Okay, staff reports.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll be brief. On August 5th, I met with President Ringen, again, regular check-in meetings to go over future agenda items, any other issues that the district is facing. Later that day, I attended the Board of Supervisors meeting. Just to, again, mostly just to make our presence known to the supervisors and to the county as a partner in all things going on here. It's just, I feel like there's some distance between the county and TUD, and that kind of distance is not healthy for any of us. So that's all. That's really all I have. I know I did a lot more than that, but that's what I have for today.
Nothing really to report. We're just a lot of meetings with staff, Kiewit about Sierra Pines right now. Just very, very good.
I'll just elaborate real quick on that. We had an extra week in here in between board meetings, and we weren't just all relaxing with our feet up during that week. We have been meeting with Kiewit quite a bit. Highlights since we last spoke, we had a cost, risk, and schedule workshop with them. Gadiel and Jennifer have gotten trained up on the document management system that Kiewit uses because they're just an immense document part of the project. We have weekly task force meetings. We just kicked off last week. One on treatment process, and another one on civil mechanical. So we saw the first grading plan for the site. It needs some work, but it's nice to actually be working towards seeing something tangible on that. Corey has been working with Comcast, which is kind of like working with PG&E in order to get us lined up for broadband service. Very important. Gadiel has been working with the county on surplus land that we'll need in order to build the turnout structure. The county owns a very small piece. They declared it as surplus and we have it appraised so that we can acquire that. There's a timber harvest plan that's working through that will allow us to do the clearing. And then baseline wetland monitoring was conducted yesterday. It's a permit requirement for us. And then the last thing, maybe one of the most important things, is we had our first reimbursement claim approved by the state. We got that in at the end of April, and they just approved it. So looking at about a 3.5 month turnaround time in between when we submit and they approve. That's all I have to report.
I've got something. When are we actually gonna break ground?
Great question. So and I don't, they did submit a schedule for us for design. The 60% design, I think we would be looking at somewhere in the April timeframe. I might be off by a month, next spring. That would be the first opportunity for the board to consider executing a contract amendment for the completion stage of the project, which is the construction. However, we've identified a few things that should occur right off the bat, critical path, such as clearing the trees, getting there needs to be a crossing of the canal. Those are things that you may see activity on as early as next spring, but the actual full-fledged construction, the earliest possible, would be probably towards the fall of next year. And possibly it could bleed into spring of the following. I know it's a very long time, but if we can get PG&E, Comcast, we can get, switch gear and things like that that have lead times of a year. We can order those up front. We can get the bridge and the trees cleared. There's opportunities for us as soon as we possibly reach terms with Kiewit on cost for construction to give them the green light and move in.
Actually, that's what I was looking for, was, that sort of prep work, because there's a ton of it to be done. And what I was really kind of concerned about or thinking about is when does the work start on the pond, and where is that dirt going to go? The spoils.
And that's the grading plan that Kiewit showed us last week. They balanced the site, meaning the cut volume, the excavation volume, with its swell, as we call it, was equivalent to the actual, placement fill volume. So right now, our goal is to not export any material off the site. It's too expensive.
Good.
But we do need to work with them a little bit because their grading plan wasn't exactly what we're.
Okay. Well, good. You guys are all over it, and that's what counts. So I appreciate that. All right. That's it for me. Oh, yes, go ahead.
I wonder if we could maybe get an update on the funding shortfall of the project. We refresh our memory as far as the anticipated shortfall, and then what steps are being taken to accommodate that.
We have recalibrated our sort of expectations of this project, and there was a shortfall based on the construction cost estimate provided by the owner advisor that was in the neighborhood of 16 million. That was based on a construction price of around 62 million. That, fluctuates a bit,
Sure.
Escalation being one. Our funding package is only for 45.6 million. So at the very beginning of this process with Kiewit, we said, erase from your mind that this is a $60 million project. This is a $45.6 million project, and any dollar above that, we have to justify. And so since we reset the expectations, right now, we are still looking for the possibility of getting more funding, but hopeful that we don't need the extra funding. Our request will come once we see this first construction cost estimate from Kiewit at 30% design, which will be in the next, probably by January or by the end of this year, maybe even the end of this calendar year. then we can go to the state and say it's a possibility we need more funding, but we're really trying to avoid that. Did I capture that correctly?
Yep, exactly.
Great.
Okay, there's nothing further, moving right along.
Great. The finance department during this time period has been working very hard to close the books for fiscal year 25, which was the year end of June 30th, 2025. And we're reaching the tail end of that process. And so my plan is to present to you the results of that at the next board meeting on August 26th. So just wanted to let you know the status of that.
And from our department, I don't often report out on safety, and it's related to really all district facilities, but we have what are called hazardous materials business plans for 13 of our sites here at the district. This facility is a main one where we have plans of emergency procedures, different types of chemicals that we have on site that we use for various purposes. And we have to get permits with the county each year. We also have inspections every 3 years on all of our facilities. So we have chemical inventories, site plans, emergency procedures, and training requirements that all are associated with those plans. And I'm just happy to report that we just had inspections with the county, and all of our permits and inspections were free and clear of any citations, everything passed. And we resubmit those on an annual basis. And like I said, have inspections every 3 years, and just wanted to, that's attributed to good record keeping and organization from Danica Bland, our safety compliance coordinator, but also each of the departments that are responsible for the facilities do a great job of making sure that they keep their facilities neat, clean, orderly. Any changes to hazardous materials or chemical inventories go through the office. We update maps and the inventories to make sure that we're in line. What happens with those plans is they get shared with county fire and city fire if they're in that jurisdiction. And then they have those plans if there was an emergency at the facility that they could help mitigate any issues that we have. So wanted to report on that. And then I'll close out with a nice compliment that one of our staff members received since the last meeting. Kalisha got a call from a customer in Jamestown and who wanted to relay how incredibly kind and helpful Gino was. Gino Pinocchio is one of our distribution operators. Wanted to, how helpful he was in her interactions with him about a dirty water call recently. She said he was very knowledgeable and patient and explained things to her really well. She said she was very impressed and hasn't experienced customer service like he provided to her in a long time. So just wanted to thank Gino Pinocchio for all of his great work. And he's been a really good addition to TUD. He's been with us for, gosh, about 4 years now. So congratulations to him and Eric and all of his staff. Thank you.
Okay.
Ross?
Yes.
I'm sorry, do you have anything, Melissa? If you ever do, this is your time to speak up. Rich, make sure I include you. I did want to give you a little bit of a kind of a warning heads up. So, we've been doing the Coach's Corner now, and throughout the rest of the year, we're going to get you out and go visit with staff, right, in their workplace. I think last one went great. So the next one is scheduled for 2 weeks from now, and we're going to stay inside this compound, but you're going to need to wear appropriate shoes, closed shoes, safety shoes, not safety boots, but just, good, comfortable walking shoes. But we're going to transition to, and Abby and Emily and Eric really helped me out with this, but we're going to transition this Coach's Corner to the first meeting of the month, starting next month, I suppose, starting in September, right, versus the second meeting. And I wanted you to know that ahead of time, and we're going to actually get off campus eventually and go see staff out in the workplace. So
Now, is that when we get our shovels and picks?
please, those are provided.
Okay,
And
great.
gloves and everything else. Thank you.
All right. Bring it back to the board. Who would like to go first? Don't everybody jump at once.
I have nothing to report.
All right, we'll just go down the list, I
Yep,
guess, down the
yep.
line. I just have one thing to report. On July 24th, I met with the Phoenix Lake Country Club Estates HOA president and one other gentleman there with him regarding the West Lake Dam. And those who might not know what the West Lake is, it used to be, or not used to be, it still is the lake that is right alongside the old hole number 9 at the Phoenix Lake Golf Course. And they have concerns about their dam and whatnot. And I called Eric Johnson, and you spoke with him and I gave him the information that they needed. They were looking for a referral to an engineering firm and whatnot. So appreciate that, Eric. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, great. Go to Director Jacobs.
Nothing to report. However, when we were talking about the coaches corner and doing the tour, it was suggested at that time that we have a report from someone regarding our outreach opportunities with the operations report. We learn about what's going on internally, and you know, it's great. It's fantastic. I fully support that. But I'm just wondering if we might want to consider, I'm not sure if it requires a board action or approval or consensus, but just to kind of confirm what we talked during the tour of having a report about outreach, education, grants, that kind of thing.
Go ahead.
May I? So yeah, Abby and I heard your request and appreciate the inquiry, right, and the interest. But Abby and I are not sure exactly. We'll work on something, but there's an appropriate way to disseminate that kind of information that isn't absolutely boring to the rest of us. So again, we're really proud of our outreach. We do quite a bit more than we've ever done in the past. The quality of our outreach is impressive, which is why you're inquiring. But hopefully, through normal process, you all see the outreach that we're performing. It was on my Molo and email, Facebook. Yeah, so we do inform the board, you 5, regularly of all our outreach, but Abby and I will figure out a way to disseminate more information for you regularly and run it by the president, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. Just recently, should have seen something really fuzzy in the news with munching mouths. The sheep are back. So they are keeping everybody up to date as to what's going on. All right, you're up.
And for this period, I had nothing to report until this Saturday when I unintentionally tested the water leak response system. We were out, walking on Beckwith and spotted a leak coming up out of the road, pretty significant. And went out there this morning. The crew's out there, 2 trucks, working their tails off. And each time you get a leak like that underground in the middle of the street, it takes a lot of work to solve it. And they had 3 of them along that section. There's TCWD, manholes, all that area is 30 years old plus. And it's an amazing amount of work that has to go into, I see your report each time we have one of these meetings on how many water leaks there are out there. But real good job in going after them. So your system's working.
Okay, great. 7:29, had a meeting with GM Perkins for agenda items and TUD business issues. 8:05, addressed the Tuolumne County Board of Supervisors about a communication issue that has been existing between TUD and the county. Not sure that much got straightened out with that, but we gave it a good old college try. 8:06, attended and participated in the Tuolumne County Natural Resources Committee meeting. That was about the only thing I could report back on that is that the conversation was about fire again. That's a big thing for us here in this county, of course, and it's just amazing, how little people know what we need to do. I mean, I brought up the fact about, zoning, where they're trying to condense more homes in smaller areas, which, okay, I know we need housing, but don't they realize that, you know, when you get all these homes built with materials that are normally used today, that they become the fuel for the fire if something gets loose. So, any rate, it goes on and on. Hopefully we can get to the bottom of that. 8-7, attended and participated in the Mountain Counties Water Resource Association Member Appreciation Event in Sutter Creek. Had one person there get a, commendation from, McClintock's office for 40 years serving in the water, utility business, as well as several other members, including our past, board member, Barbara Balin. She was recognized for her time. And then on 8-8 was, I attended and participated in the Mountain Counties Water Resource Association Board of Directors meeting. And with that, about the only thing I can bring back to you on that is, we joined a new, the Mountain Counties has joined a new, organization. And, it's, for the lack of me, I've forgotten what they call themselves. It's brand new, and I had asked for information on it because I don't remember it ever being talked about. And I didn't get that information, unfortunately, but they're going to be, excuse me, putting on a presentation a half day before the California United Water group meets. And I was trying to tell them that, you know, you better have a pretty darn good presentation to get all these Southern California water agencies come in half day early to listen to your presentation about what's going on up here. I think it's going to be a failure, but at least I try to warn them that it better be good, because I can just see them talking to a vast wasteland out there. I don't know. So, any rate, but they're forging ahead, trying to move things forward to educate people down south as to where their water actually comes from, even though they continue to think it bubbles up out of the ground at the Delta. So that's it for me. And do we have anything else from anybody else? And if not, Don, then you're gonna have to